Hello, everybody. Today is Friday, July 7th. And I thought about this topic a while ago, and there's no doubt that we all have a purpose here. We all have a responsibility here. And I was thinking, what is my responsibility? What is my legacy? What am I supposed to do? What is your responsibility as an uncle? What is your responsibility as an older cousin, as a father, as a grandfather? And what I came up with is about what you talk to your kids about, what you talk to your nieces about, your nephews about. Because I think it's my responsibility to teach, to talk to my nephew and nieces and my kids on an everyday basis. Not each and every one of them, of course, but when I get to get a hold of them and see how they're doing, and because you want to know how they're doing. Actually, if they have any crisis in their life or anything that I can help them with, and I've always said that we all, we have so much control over our destiny. We have so much how we can control our thinking. And especially what we can control is what comes out of our mouth when somebody reacts to us, or should I say how we react to people, either positive or negative way. So I think that's my responsibility, is to give back and talk to people and to share my experiences with them, and or just what would I do in this situation, or how would I, or try to give them the best feedback as I can. But like I said, it's about how we deliver it, because I love each and every one of my nieces and nephews, and my kids, of course, and but I've always feel obligated to say something if they're ever in need, that they always can talk to me, and you always have that line of communication open, because you'd be surprised how many lines of communication have been shut off, either by burnt bridges, about holding grudges in families, which I don't. There's obviously some members of the family that don't talk as much, just because it's either we're too busy or we just don't talk. But I remember, I'm just like my dad. He always seemed like he always would call people just out of the blue, just because he wanted to talk, just because he wanted to see how people were doing, because he loved to talk. Obviously, that's where I get it from. So he was very caring, and my mom, she always had that sense of humor. Who I would, I remember her scaring my kids, and she's just had that corny, weird sense of humor. But she was very loving, very caring, very had a lot of compassion. But I also got to say this: as of yesterday, I'm off probation, and I have been so blessed to. I've never, through my convictions of drunk driving, I've never violated once. So I knew what I had to do. I took the line pretty straight. So, but that's another blessing that's been bestowed upon me. But my responsibility is to get a license, in which I will be getting soon, I hope, and that's what I have to stick to, and that's my my next challenge. It does take some work, but I'm heading in the right direction. But as far as my responsibility to, like I said, I was talking to my nieces today, and there's some things that people have to go through in order to get where they need to go. And sometimes too is that when we think about when we're in a toxic relationship, or we're thinking or having toxic thoughts or living a toxic life, you don't even know you're in it. And I was telling my niece today, Brittany, that I didn't even know I was in it. People were talking to me about, well, George, you shouldn't do this or that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not hurting nobody. You know what I mean? But I was hurting myself. And that's true, because you don't even see it. You don't even, what are you talking about? I mean, I'm not different. But I was. And I know the difference now because of the time that I have with my family and friends, and things are different because of what I value. And I value time, I value memories, I value just hanging around my kids. It's a good feeling. And that's what I told my kids, how come I always got to feel like I'm the one who calls you? How come you don't pick up the phone? Dominic does that, and Kelsey's been doing that, and Elise is 13, but I call her every day, and obviously we've been seeing each other a lot lately, and that's a relationship that I am truly blessed to have, because I wasn't able to go see her, and that's my responsibility, is to make the effort to have those relationships with my kids, because you are the biggest influence in their lives, and I did not understand that. Um, it's very unfortunate, but again, I don't reflect back on the negative. I always look at the positive in life and what I could do now. I always live within the moment. I am looking forward to a bright future, but there's that missing piece of the puzzle, and that's obviously having a relationship, because obviously we're not meant to be alone. But I tell you what, that woman's going to be, she's going to be very special, because it's because my standards are very high, as well as her standards should be high, and everybody's standards should be high. Because if you're in a toxic relationship, guys, you understand that there's nobody, forcing you to be in something. You have to get yourself out of it, and that's what I talked about yesterday. Is your life is so short that being in bad relationships before, I look back at it and I don't regret any of it, but obviously I regret some actions, but it's a learning experience. I always said you got to go through the valleys in order to get to the mountain, and I've been through the valleys, and I'm headed toward the mountain. I'm just very blessed to be able to speak to you in a sober state and be able to leave a legacy here for my kids and for my friends and family to see, because like I said, I have a lot to say. There's more to me than just sobriety. There's always that's why I talk about different topics, because I've been involved with a lot of different things, positive and negative, and I always feel like I have to say something. I have to give back. I like my job, but I can't just be content with what I'm doing right now. I can't. I have to do something more, and I believe God will show that path for me, and I do pray about it. But I just want to make sure that you guys all leave a legacy, and always give back to your nieces, always give back to your nephews, always give back to your kids in a positive way. Remember, how you deliver that is very, very important. Remember your friends, and keep your circle tight. Keep your friends who are positive in your life around. Do not, and sometimes you have to let the negative ones go, because that's the only way it's going to benefit you guys, because you have to realize there's some people that even family, even really close family, that maybe it's not the best thing to hang around with these people, because you are who your friends are. You are who your families are. You take your closest 10 friends or family, that's who you are. And I choose, I'm just chilling by myself, man, to be honest with you. I do some things with my kids and with a couple of friends, but that's my circle. It's pretty tight. But that's okay, and hopefully it'll grow more, just because I choose for that to happen. I know, and people who live in that toxic world, they choose for that to happen. Remember, guys, you choose. You have so much control of what happens in your life. It's unbelievable. I always said I have so much control of what happens now. It's unreal. And some people who are in a situation that they don't know how to get out, because that's all they know. That's all they know. That's all they want. They don't know anything better. But that's when I have with my future girlfriend or wife, she can see through me and look beyond what my gifts are and make me go further. That's when I know that I'm with the right person, that she can totally see my gifts and my talents, and I can see hers as well, and that we just fly together. And I'm looking forward to that next chapter. I don't know when it is, who it is, how it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. But remember, guys, please, like I said, I ramble on. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time, because it just comes from the heart. But just remember to always have time for that person who needs to talk. And if you need to talk to somebody you know they're going to listen. Remember, a lot of people are going to say what you want to hear, but really close friends are going to say what you need to hear. But you guys have a blessed weekend, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Take care.